Okay, it's Mega here. We're gonna take the Black Widow Galant VR4 to Auto Innovations in Milpitas. The place I was gonna go to before, Align Techs, they wanted to charge me like 165, and they told me like to call somewhere else if you thought that was too much. And well, I called Auto Innovation, one of the other places that I know that does race car stuff, and they want to charge me like $100, so it sounds good to me. So yeah, we'll go do the thing. So I'm gonna drive it there. It's in Milpitas. It's the next city over. So it's gonna be I'm gonna be listening for like weird noises and stuff. I can hear like a little creaking in the back, and I've been driving it around. I drove it around 2 nights in a row, and it's still got that kind of like vibration, the knocking sound from the drivetrain. So I'll be listening for that. But I might leave the camera on while I'm driving, and then you guys can listen for it. Okay, I just fired it up. I mean, hopefully after the wheel alignment, it'll be good. I was supposed to be there at 3. I got an appointment at 3, but man, I ate something bad, so I got like the bubble guts right now. I kind of don't want to go anymore. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of leave the camera on the dash here, and then and you guys can listen to the sound from it. Try not to drive too fast. I'll drive with the windows down. So now the car is much taller. It feels like it's much taller than it was before. I don't have to worry about scraping, even though I didn't really have to worry about scraping before, too much. One thing I always worried about driving this car is high centering it, because it's so tall. Alright. I can hear it already. There it is. Hear that? It's a little knocking sound. Now, yeah, right around there. So around 2,000 RPM I can hear it. It sounds like a knocking sound in the back, or maybe like I got a bad tire, like a tire is like out of balance or something, or yeah, the tire's wearing out or something. I think I don't know, man. So for the alignment, you guys can see me now. For the alignment, I feel that car is not too bad aligned. It drives okay. It'll probably feel a lot better when I align it, Yeah, it'll probably feel a lot better once I align it. Sorry, guys. And okay, we're gonna take it on the freeway. We'll see if we can hear it. I wish I had the camera. I wish I brought my action camera with me. But yeah, I feel that the alignment isn't too bad. It probably just needs some. It does probably need some toe adjustment. Is what I'm thinking. But other than that, I don't even think it needs a camber adjustment. Maybe we'll see. Could use. I brought the old alignment sheet, the one the previous owner got on this when he got put the new suspension on. There it is. I can hear it now. And it goes away when I give it gas. So yeah, I don't hear it at freeway speeds. It's around 2,000 RPM when I'm slowing down. So when I start to hear it, it gets really loud. It seems okay now. I feel like I installed everything properly, so I'm not scared it's gonna come apart. Hopefully it doesn't. So yeah. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. I guess I'll just have to get used to it. The sound for now. I don't really. I heard what I heard. It's either the backlash on your diff, and like I didn't really check the diff out before I installed it, or it's the drivetrain, the drive shaft. The drive shaft's not balanced. It could be like any number of things. A lot of people are saying if you have a lightweight flywheel, it does the same thing, because a heavyweight flywheel soaks up the vibrations better. It could be that I installed well, I did install a lightened crank pulley. That may be causing it too. So, but it wasn't making that sound before. So that's all I'm saying. It has to be something I replaced. It has to be the drive shaft. I mean, I did take the drive shaft off, or it could be the diff itself. You know? And if it's the diff itself, I can't really do anything about it. You know? But right now, it sounds fine on the freeway. We're just doing about like 60, 70 right now on the freeway, and no problem. It's really, really smoky out right now. California's on fire right now. So. All right, so I guess that's the end of the video. So if you just listen to it when I was driving slowly, you can hear the knocking sound. Let me know what you think that could be. You know, but like I said, I kind of narrowed it down to man, that G6 is flying. I've narrowed it down to like the drive shaft or the diff itself. You know. All right, here's me out. So here we are on the Black Widow Galant VR4, cruising on the freeway. So I have to say, the diff sounds like it's even quieter than it was before. Like before, I kind of got like a howl, or oh shit, we're supposed to go right here. Ah, damn it! I missed my exit. It's okay. Yeah. So what was it? Yeah. Before I kind of had like a howling or diff whine, and it seems like it's not as noisy this time. But it does kind of whine at certain RPMs or certain throttle inputs. But it's smooth, man. I like it. It feels like it's better than it was before. I think that old diff was like, all beat up and stuff. Even though it's not the stock diff either. So this diff seems like it's in better shape. Other than that knocking sound. Driving slow around here, around this circle. Just kind of listen. At like 2,000 RPM, it's pretty loud. It speeds up and slows down depending on how fast we're going. Only does it when I let go of throttle too, when we're decelerating. Like, I guess you can kind of hear it when we're accelerating a little bit, but it's most loud when we're decelerating. So I'm gonna let off the throttle now. There, here. Better that we put the windows up real quick. It sounds kind of like I got a flat tire or something is what it sounds like, but I don't. Alright, so I'm here at the Auto Innovations, time to get the lines done. Okay, he's Mega here. I just drove the car back from Auto Innovations. I had to drive in all sorts of traffic. It kind of sucked. I have to say the car drives really good. So all those months and months of working on the brakes and the suspension and adjusting the ride height and all that and the rear end, it finally paid off. It drives really good. I don't know, for some reason when the car is on when it's in my driveway, because my driveway is has a bit of an angle, it looks like it's even. The height is even. Like, I'm pretty sure that I don't think they adjusted the height at all. It's a lot of work to adjust the height. It would take them a long time to adjust it, I think. I don't think they messed around with the height at all. It looks like it's even now. I know for sure it's taller in the back, and I've kind of been driving it around. It should have settled in by now, so that's the way it's gonna stay. But it looks good. It looks really good. So let's see, in my driveway, I remember my driveway were two fingers in the front and 2.5 in the back, so it's a little bit taller in the back. But I tell you, I guarantee you this, when I put it on a level street like this one here, if I parked it on the street level, it looks like the back is taller, and it feels like the back is taller when I drive it. So I was just going around the corner just now, some of the corners, and I took them a little bit fast, and I could feel like, yeah, man, like where I point the steering wheel, the car wants to go, you know. So I don't know if that's because the alignment is proper now, but I think it's a combination of like, yeah, the alignment is good now, and the back is taller, and we have that LSD in the back. This has got a hint of oversteer, just a little bit of oversteer. I haven't really pushed the car yet. We'll take it up to the mountains and try it sometime, but yeah, it seems like it's a little bit on the oversteer side, and that's exactly how I want it. Just a little bit oversteer. Like if it gets a little too crazy, hey, we got all-wheel drive, man. That's how I wanted it. I don't want it to understeer a lot. Before, it understeered a lot. It was a little bit of, I think before it felt a little bit understeer, a little bit tight is what they call it in NASCAR terms. It's a little tight. So now we're on the other side of the spectrum. We're a little bit loose. So, and it feels great driving the car. The car feels big, but I mean the car is really big, but it feels like it's small when you're driving it. Like I'm really happy with it. Other than like, yeah, whenever I go on a big bump, it's like, it hurts. It hurts my spine, man. Anyway, so before it gets too dark, let's go over to alignment results. Everything turned out okay. Sorry, it's a little dark in here now. The sun is starting to come down. It's winter times are coming. All right, so got my light on there. So I went to Auto Innovations in Milpitas, and it cost me $100. $100 to align it, but here's the new alignment specs right here, and I brought them my old alignment specs. It's the exact same printout too. So Mike 2 aligned my car, and there it is. So before, the camber was -2. Yeah, so there was more negative camber in the front right than there was on the left. So that just goes to show that my when I took the axle apart, this is the side that I took the axle out, on the front right, I didn't mark it or anything, and I didn't know where I put it back in. So I got it pretty close, but it was still off. I mean, he said -2 degrees in the front is okay for handling and stuff, so I kept it like that. That's exactly what the old settings were, -2. So they just put it back at -2. And I was pretty close when I put it back. I did know that adjusting those bolts did make a difference in the camber, like a whole lot. So apparently I adjusted it too much, but it's okay. So the caster's good. Caster went to 2 after all the adjustments. The front left toe is off by almost 1/4 of a degree, or 1/4 inch, whatever that is. Yeah, it's like 0.2 inches off. Is that like, shouldn't it be in degrees or something? Yeah, this isn't in degrees. That's weird. That's kind of weird. It's a different yeah, it's a different they use a different kind of alignment spec. What's the word? A different unit. It's in inches. But anyway, it was 0.2 inches before, and the other side is fine. So yeah, the other side is fine actually. So they reset it. They set it back to 0 toe. So we're good on the toe, and we got -2 camber in the front. Good. And then we'll go to the rear. Rear was -0.1 degrees, and then -0.9 degrees. So the camber was off in the back. I may have adjusted it uneven, I don't know. But now we're at -1 in the rear. I think the old settings were like 1.5, and they're all like, yeah, you know, you should just keep it at 1. So we just kept it at 1. He suggested we just leave it at 1. That's okay. Maybe that's, I don't know. That would mean we'd have more traction in the straight line. Anyway, the back doesn't turn anyway, so. And then we had 0.1, and 0.02 in the rear for toe. And then they adjusted the toe to 0.08 and 0.09, still in spec. Yeah, 0.02. Yeah, this one's a little bit off. So it was actually not bad. The alignment wasn't bad. For some reason, the left side is off more. I don't know what happened. Maybe something happened to the car after I drove it so long. Though, you know, something bent or something. But it's good now. So, caster is good, camera's good, toe's good, everything checks out. That's what you want to see. So, and then the camber, yeah, the camber didn't change much. The camber went positive in the back. So because we raised the back so much, it went positive. It almost went positive. So they added some negative to it. They added just a tiny bit, just a little bit. So overall, like I mentioned, the car drove fine before, so I thought it was okay. So but now it drives a little bit better. Now that all the camber and the toe is all proper, we're all good. So there we go. So that is the end of Hades Omega's drivetrain adventure with the Black Widow Galant VR4. So now, after many months, I can drive the Galant again. So I'm happy. The weather's starting to cool down now, and it's a good time to drive the Galant because only the heater works in this car. So the heater works really good too. So I want to add. So the only issue now is that little knocking sound in the back that I showed you earlier. It hasn't gone away. It's around 2,000 RPM. It's a knock, and it gets faster and slower with how the faster we go. So like if I mean, once we start going to like 0 miles per hour, I can hear it. It gets less and less and less, and that leads me to believe it has something to do with the rear diff or the drive shaft. So what I will do is I'll take the drive shaft off and I'll reinstall it. Maybe I put it in the wrong way, or I didn't put it in the right way. So we'll probably take it off. I'll unbolt it and then we'll turn it 90 degrees and then we'll see if we can stick it back in there. Like I just kind of just stuck it in there, you know. I knew like, oh, there's nothing connected to it right now. It's probably a good time to put it on. But so like I said, we changed the diff, so there's no way I could have marked it anyway, you know, to tell what's what. So we're kind of at a loss on that. Had I taken the drive shaft off and we just left that 3-bolt diff in there, it would have been okay if we marked it, you know. But I didn't even mark it. I didn't even know we were supposed to mark it. So, but overall, I'm really happy with the car. All the work that I've been doing has paid off. I know it's just I haven't had a lot of time to work on the car, and it just kind of sits all the time, and it breaks my heart watching it sit around like not drivable. But now it's drivable. So so we got to figure out what that little knocking sound is, see if we can make it to get quieter or something. It didn't have that noise before, so it has to be something with the rear end, dude. There's something to do with the rear end. Unless I messed something up when I was putting the drive shaft back on and it messed like the carrier bearings up or something. Honestly, I don't want another all-wheel drive car, dude. It's just more shit to go wrong. It's like I said. I feel that I'm happy with the front-wheel drive car or just the rear-wheel drive car. It's much simpler. I don't think I want another all-wheel drive unless it's like a truck or something, you know. Yeah. So yeah, and then the exhaust. We'll get working on the exhaust. We're gonna install a super turbo muffler. I feel that we kind of have to replace the exhaust. I know I kind of like it. I kind of like the car quiet. Hopefully it'll stay kind of quiet with the super turbo, but that exhaust is rusted really bad. Just for like maintenance reasons, I would change it. This car was I don't want to say it's neglected, but it lives in some very harsh environment, and yeah, it lived in a really harsh environment, and it, like, you can tell when you take some of the stuff out, it's really corroded and rusted. So we got to replace that exhaust. I would even say replace the cat. Cat's still good though. I don't want to replace it. So, yeah. I wish I could just bolt another exhaust on, but I don't think we could even do that because the cat's all messed up. All the mountings for the cat's still good, but it's just like all the flanges and stuff are like in really bad shape, dude. We found that out when we installed the downpipe. So that's the next ticket, the exhaust. But the car drives really good. I'm worried when we put the exhaust, it's gonna flow so well that we're gonna hit fuel cut. And there's no way to really adjust the flow because I don't have a silencer. Yeah, the muffler I got doesn't have a silencer. We could probably put one though, if we went with a single tip. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the drivetrain project for the Black Widow Galant VR4. All is well. We gotta figure out that knocking sound, and then we'll get on the exhaust. And then after that, we'll be like, we'll start putting the chip and stuff and all that other good stuff to make the car a little faster. I kind of don't want to mess with that stuff, but also I did put gas in the car, and I checked the miles per gallon, and it's like 19 miles per gallon. It's not good. This is really bad. Really bad, and I have to put premium in. Look, good thing the gas isn't super expensive right now. The premium wasn't super expensive. I was like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. But yeah, I know this car can get like 22 miles per gallon if you're just doing a lot of freeway or just cruising. So that's not too bad. My Eclipse can get 30 miles per gallon on the freeway if you're just cruising on the freeway. So the Galant is not a sipper, dude. It eats up a lot of gas, and I think maybe it's just because it's an old car, older ECU, stuff like that. So all right, so good deal. In the whole $100, but yeah, so I think I had the diff. Yeah, let's go over the cost analysis. So let's start from when we painted the stuff, and then we adjusted it. The height adjustment I didn't pay anything for that. I did install new stabilizer bar bushings, the little donuts. I don't know if that helped or not. I think it did. So I'm not even gonna add that to the cost. Those are like $15 or something. I did buy a quart of Redline Shockproof Heavy. That was $20, dude. But it won't only need one bottle. So that Redline stuff is so expensive. And then we got the wheel alignment. The wheel alignment was the most expensive. It was $100. Like I mentioned, there's another place that wanted to charge me $165. And they're like, find a better place if you can. And then and I did, and I knew Auto Innovation, they work on like cars like this all the time, so I took it there. You can't just you can't take this car just anywhere, is what I'm saying. But you probably can. But I had them set the camber very similar to to what it was before. And I just said like, hey, just look at this if you think you know anything better. And so they suggested a little less negative camber in the rear, and I was like, okay, well, it give me more traction, in the rear. And then the more camber in the front will help me in the corners. It'll corner a little flatter, the caster was all good and everything. Actually, I don't even think the caster was good before. Let's see what the caster was. See, the caster is red last time. It's 3.4, 2, and then 2.5 and 3, and then now caster is good. Caster's at 2 and 2. The caster is perfect. So I don't know what the deal is with the old caster settings on this. All the caster was off on the front. I even mentioned it to him before. And then when we did it here, it's fine. The caster is fine. Did the caster change at all? A little bit. So something I did to the front. Something I did to the front fixed the caster. I don't know what it is. All we did was take the front right suspension apart. We didn't mess around with the left. Oh, you know what it could be? Well, I don't know. I took the steering thing off on this side to replace the boot. Maybe that changed something. I don't know. I think I put it. Oh yeah, that's it. That's probably why the toe is off. Okay, I found out why my toe was off. It's because I took the steering, the tie rod out, and then I must have misaligned it or something when I put it back on, and then it's just been that way for a long time, so that sucks. But that's maybe why that's like that. I don't know why this is like this though. Why this would be green and this would be red, you know. But anyway, it's all good now. No problem. All right, phasing out. Happy. I got a car I can drive again. So I wanted to take the car to the car wash, but there was too many cars there. One of these days I'm gonna sneak the car out like around midnight when it's like super duper cold, and then we'll go wash it. I don't see it gonna be raining anytime soon, and the car's like super dirty, so we'll take it to the car wash and I'll wash it with the pressure washer. I think that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to get all the dirt off the car. The car's just been sitting around for a long time. I want to start working on my clips too. I feel that 4 car has been neglected. It just kind of sits there all the time. The clips will probably be in the driveway now, and then this will be on the street, and we can drive it. Yeah, it'll be nice to drive this car again. So yeah, but yeah, I can drive it for now. I don't know when I'll get on the exhaust. Maybe like a month from now or something. I'm kind of busy right now. All right, here's me out. So also wanted to mention, yeah, the car is taller now, and the reason I liked it taller is no more scraping issues. I won't have, so when I take a corner really hard, it would scrape, and I didn't like that. I mean, it wouldn't scrape really hard, but it would scrape. And if I hit a bump really hard, it would scrape. If people were sitting in the back of my car and there's a lot of weight in the back, it would scrape. And it would scrape all the time. So that leads me to believe the back probably needs more preload or something. But hey, we got more ride height in the back, so that's good. Yeah, so I can actually drive people in the car now without having to worry about it bottoming out all the time. So I think overall the car is better, but I'm still not happy with this field suspension. Plus I found the crack on the bushing on the rear, so I don't know, man. And then I found out it costs like $100 a shock to rebuild it, and they said they want you to rebuild it every 20,000 miles. I was like, what? That's a lot of, I mean, I guess that's a lot of miles, but yeah, I mean, man, cars are so expensive, dude. That's what it is. It's good to know that somebody will rebuild it though. So yeah, so I mean, I guess I don't really want to change the suspension anymore because I got the height and everything set already. If I buy some other suspension, we have to get it aligned again. So I think this is okay. Like I said, it's not bad on the bumps until you hit like a really big bump or speed bump or something. Then you notice like it'll bottom like boom, really bad. So I don't like that, but it's okay, I guess. We'll just have to get used to it. And like everything kind of rattles inside now. I can't have my little cup holder on the thingy anymore because the car is too harsh. You know, I broke the vent on the thing, so we'll have to find a better cup holder, I guess. We'll just use the stock one, I guess. The stock one works. It's just kind of annoying. All right, here we go.